The last destination of my Scandinavian trip I took a few months ago was the land of do-it-yourself furniture, Sweden. Sweden was such an interesting place to visit. I learned so much about the country's history, but I also got a deeper appreciation for its food culture. From traditional dishes that have been around for centuries to the whole concept of fika, a Swedish custom of having a coffee break, I learned how food in Sweden is much more than just something to eat. It's a whole experience. And of course, I had to try some of the classics while I was there. First off, a popular dish offered at the breakfast buffets in the hotels I stayed at were these Swedish pancakes. They're kind of like French crepes, so thin, soft, and slightly eggy. I'm used to eating my pancakes with maple syrup, but in Sweden their pancakes are actually served with lingonberry jam and whipped cream. The combo really surprised me because they paired really well with the delicate texture of the pancakes. The jam was light and slightly tart, not overwhelmingly sweet like some jams can be, and the whipped cream was heavier and denser than what I'm used to, so instead of being super airy, it had a thick, almost velvety texture that made each bite feel extra indulgent. The soft, thin pancakes, the fruity jam, and rich whipped cream was such a perfect way to start the day. I could easily eat 20 of these every morning and never get tired of it. Next up, we went to a small cozy restaurant in Stockholm to try the classic Swedish meatballs. Unsurprisingly, they tasted exactly like the ones from IKEA, but having them in an actual restaurant surrounded by the beautiful streets of Sweden made all the difference. The meatballs were juicy and packed with flavor and covered in a rich, creamy brown gravy. They were paired with buttery mashed potatoes and tart lingonberries to create the perfect mix of savory, sweet, and tangy. I'm really excited to pick up a bag of these meatballs the next time I'm at IKEA to recreate the experience. So far on my trip, I've learned that Sweden is full of good food, but it also has great food culture, especially around the idea of fika. I kept seeing the word pop up as I wandered through the streets and seeing cozy little cafes around every corner. From what I understand, fika is all about slowing down, enjoying a sweet treat, sipping on coffee, and just taking a moment, whether it's to soak in the views or catch up with a friend. I knew I had to try it out for myself, and what better way than with Sweden's classic pastry, the cinnamon bun. I was honestly expecting something super soft and sugary, but this was completely different. It was way heavier than what I'm used to. It was more like a dense sweet bread with strong cinnamon flavor. But I totally understand why this is such a big part of Swedish culture. It was a really relaxing experience, so I'll definitely be making more time for sweet treat breaks in my own life from now on. Speaking of sweet treats, after that cozy fika moment, I couldn't resist grabbing something a little more refreshing while walking around, and that's when I found a little stall selling ice cream with different toppings. I got their strawberry ice cream, which was a vanilla soft serve base drenched with a strawberry sauce. I know it's just strawberry ice cream, but this was a lot different to what I was expecting. The ice cream itself was so creamy, almost like a thick version of whipped cream from a can, and the strawberry sauce wasn't overly sweet. It was the perfect treat to have while wandering the streets and sightseeing. Cool, creamy, and just the right amount of sweetness. As a little side note before we wrap up, one fun thing I kept noticing throughout my time in Sweden was just how much moomin there was everywhere. I had seen bits and pieces of the character earlier in my trip in Denmark and Norway, but Sweden definitely had the most. Every other shop seemed to have moomin merch, even in cafes and bookstores. I didn't know much about moomin before this trip, but I ended up learning more along the way and really fell in love with the art style. Honestly, I kind of regret not picking up a mug or a plush while I had the chance. But aside from my newfound love for moomin, Sweden really left an impression on me, especially the food. From the light and delicate Swedish pancakes to the comforting meatballs, the cozy cinnamon buns with fika, and even that surprisingly amazing ice cream, everything I ate felt like a little piece of Swedish culture. The mix of history, food, and cozy vibes made this trip unforgettable. I'd love to come back for more, and next time, I'll make sure to leave with some moomin merch.